And for more, we say hello to the two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden alongside Tyler Sullivan, CBS football writer. Guys, this was all Bills, and then in the final moments, it was up in the air, literally and figuratively. B-Mac, how do you walk away feeling specifically on the Bills front? I mean, this was a game that they controlled when they wanted to, but sort of a less than inspired effort in the second half?
Yeah, no question. I think when you talk about seeing some pretty good play in the first half, Josh Allen looking like Josh Allen, he pretty much dominated this ball game from start to finish. I felt like they left a lot of points on the scoreboard. Yes, they won the ball game, but you look at how they were able to manufacture the points and looking at how efficient Josh Allen was, they left some points on the scoreboard, in my opinion. And because of that effort or the lack thereof, they allowed the window of opportunity for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to make things extremely dicey towards the last play, especially with that Hail Mary. So for Buffalo, it's a great way to get back in a winning column. Clearly, it's a great way to see. It's a great thing to see your quarterback play like a top-level guy. But for 4 quarters, you got to continue to play football, because I don't believe that Buccaneers are a playoff caliber team. But when you talk about playing against some of the more competitive playoff caliber teams, if you don't take care of your business, that window will still be open, and eventually they'll find a way to get through it.
Yeah, I'll echo what B-Mac just said. If we're judging this by pass-fail, they certainly passed. They won the game. You can kind of exhale a little bit off of that loss against New England last week. Seems like they got back on track a little bit offensively in that first half. But it still feels like there's a lot of questions about this team, and it's exactly what B-Mac was just saying. The ability to step on teams' throats and the execution late in games, that to me is something I feel like this Buffalo Bills team is lacking, and it's from head coaching on down. I thought one of the more interesting decisions by Sean McDermott was late in that game electing to punt in Tampa Bay territory instead of going for it with Josh Allen in a 4th and 2, and that ultimately led to Tampa Bay getting close, going on a touchdown drive. To me, that's the type of thing that you should be able to trust your quarterback, trust your offense to be able to step on an opponent's neck to go to victory. And ultimately, it just kind of feels like the Bills let these teams hang around, whether it's interceptions, questionable decisions. That's not going to fly against playoff teams. I'm going to be fascinated to see what happens next week when they go to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. That, to me, is going to give you a little bit more of a gauge to what this team is at home against the team that's, like B-Mac was saying, probably not 500, a game that shouldn't have been as close as it was. Sure, they passed to get the win, but I still have some questions about this team long term.
Yeah, we're not grading pass-fail here. We're trying to figure out who is who and who are the real teams as we turn that corner at the halfway mark of the season. The Bills with an opportunity to maybe make a resounding case on their own behalf, and they don't do it, to your guys' point here, in the second half, but it is a win. You like to learn within them. Gabe Davis, a big part of this one. Josh Allen looking more like the free-wielding Josh Allen of old. And I sort of want to lead you right there, Tyler, because this is an offense that I feel like opens up when 1-7 is in the open field and sort of toting that rock like a loaf of bread. Yeah, you got to get certain things out of it. You want to limit the contact to your quarterback. But even right here, off script to Dalton Kincaid extending a play. Is that where the Bills are best? And do you want to maybe keep a little bit more of that free-wielding in this offense if you're Josh Allen and the decision-makers in Buffalo?
Yeah, if you're Ken Dorsey, if you're running that offense, you want Josh Allen to be Josh Allen. You don't want to have him refined in the pocket. Sure, he can throw it with the best of them, but he is most effective when he's running the football. You mentioned that throw to Dalton Kincaid for the touchdown. The only reason that happened was because he ran for the 13-yard touchdown earlier in that game. You had the linebacker crashing in on him as he rolled out to his right, which freed up Kincaid to go in for that touchdown pretty much free and easy. So that's all Josh Allen. That's his ability to make plays with his legs. I even think they should do it a little bit more. Yes, we do have to ask the question of how healthy Josh Allen is. He went into the Blue Medical tent in this game. He was dealing with that right shoulder injury over the last few weeks on the injury report. Maybe they're kind of limiting him in certain respects. I do think they could have utilized him at the goal line a little bit better. I know we see Jalen Hurts in that brotherly shove, tush push, whatever you want to call it. I feel like they could use some of that in this offense with Josh Allen because he's so big, because he's so physical. But I can understand protecting the quarterback. But ultimately, you have him run around free back there. He's able to make magic, and you saw that tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think when you talk about Josh Allen has that Pat Mahomes type vibe. He's deadly when he's outside of the pocket. If he breaks containment, he has an opportunity to throw it or run it. And when either or, he's pretty much successful in doing so. And their offense is at their best. Now, the one thing about Josh Allen, he's such a reckless runner. Like, he forgets that he plays the quarterback position. You're not a tight end, you're not a fullback, you're not a running back. It's not your job to deliver blows when you're running the football. It's your job to get positive yards and get down, protect your body. He's one of the more reckless runners at the quarterback position that we have in the National Football League. That's the difference with Josh Allen when you compare him to Pat Mahomes or Jalen Hurts. Those guys are extremely smart when they're running the football. They try to protect their bodies. If he can just improve in that element, because that's the issue that you have with Josh Allen. When he's running the football, he put himself in harm's way because he likes delivering blows. But I'm right there with you, Tyler. When he's able to have that run-throw option just from improvising, they're at their best.
I'll tell you this much. The run, whether it's Josh Allen or traditional, is a big part of what they do. The Bills are 5-0 this season when they run for 100-plus yards. They're 0-3 when they're short of that number. If you're looking for a win indicator, it's the running game. B-Mac, what did you see in that regard? Not just Allen, but the rushing attack specifically tonight for Buffalo.
James Cook. James Cook is a talented running back, Tyler. And when you give him an opportunity to get anywhere between 12 to 16 touches running the football, he's going to do some positive things. For such a long time, since Josh Allen became the premier starter there in Buffalo, he has been the most reliable running back. And now we're starting to see James Cook surface. He had 14 carries tonight for 67 yards, averaged 4.8 yards per tote. Those are good numbers. So if he can continue to be involved in the ground and pound attack for the Buffalo Bills, because we know Josh Allen will always have an opportunity to provide a sense of production to that side of things running the football. But just having a featured guy in the backfield, because I can't recall the last featured running back the Buffalo Bills have had. It's been such a long time. When you talk about having Singletary in years before and things like that, now they seem to have that featured guy, even though Latavius Murray has come in from time to time, especially in the red zone. I think James Cook, when he gets the opportunities, like I said, anywhere between 12 to 16, that's when their running game is at their best, because Josh Allen will provide that sense of running also.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, B-Mac. And more importantly, and you referenced this earlier, the fact that James Cook is there to able to absorb some of those touches, those carries from Josh Allen, it's going to keep him healthy because, like you said, he is a reckless runner. So to take some of those opportunities away, particularly in the red zone, whether it be James Cook or Latavius Murray, that's going to keep your quarterback healthy, which is the number one thing. And, this offense is going to be talked about with Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. Those two are the heavy hitters. But I think guys like James Cook, Gabe Davis, Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, who had a breakout game tonight, those secondary options are going to be the difference of this team legitimately competing for a Super Bowl, legitimately competing in the AFC. And it starts with the ground game. If they're able to run the ball effectively and put teams away late, like they were unable to do in this game, Tampa Bay was still able to kind of sniff around towards the end. But if all of a sudden James Cook can prove to be that runner, which we've seen over recent weeks, and you can hand the rock to him at the tail end of games, that's going to be a tremendous asset for a team like the Buffalo Bills, who do like to get up early on some of these teams when they can.